Lena had always loved learning. She wasn't the kind of student who needed to be at the top of every class. But she craved understanding, the kind that made her feel connected to the world around her. However, when she was younger, her family couldn't afford to send her to the best schools, and so her education often felt incomplete, like a puzzle missing pieces. Her dream of studying at a prestigious university seemed far-fetched, until one evening, when her mother handed her a letter with a big, red seal on it. It was an acceptance letter from a renowned scholarship program. Lena couldn't believe it. This was her chance, the kind she had waited for. The scholarship covered everything: tuition, room, board, and even extracurricular activities. It was the opportunity she had always dreamed of. The day Lena stepped onto the university campus, it felt like stepping into a world of endless possibilities. The towering buildings, the buzzing energy of students discussing ideas in every corner, the gleaming libraries, everything screamed excellence. She felt small in this new world, but also, for the first time, she felt like she belonged. In her first semester, she was immersed in lectures, seminars, and the kind of intellectual debates she had only read about in books. But as she navigated this new academic landscape, she began to realize something important. Education wasn't just about the content in textbooks or the grades on her report card. It was about curiosity, resilience, and the ability to think critically about the world. One particular afternoon, during a discussion in her philosophy class, the professor posed a question that stuck with Lena. "What is the best form of education?" he asked, looking directly at her. She paused, unsure of what to say. The students around her began discussing memorization, standardized testing, and the value of having a prestigious degree. But Lena thought back to her childhood. She remembered the quiet evenings at home, when her mother, despite never having the chance to finish school, would sit with her and share stories about the world. Those stories were lessons in empathy, in resilience, in the strength of curiosity. Her mother's education had come not from textbooks, but from life itself. Lena raised her hand. "I believe the best education is the one that teaches us to think for ourselves, to ask questions, to learn from every experience, not just in the classroom, but from everything we encounter." The professor smiled, and the room fell silent for a moment. It wasn't an answer they expected, but it was one that resonated. Over the next few years, Lena continued to excel academically, but she also began to find a balance between the traditional education she was receiving and the real-world lessons she had learned. She spent summers volunteering in her community, helping other students who struggled with the same challenges she once faced. She helped children understand that learning wasn't just about memorization or tests, but about building the skills they needed to make sense of their lives. In her final year, Lena stood at the podium to give her graduation speech. She looked out over the sea of faces, her classmates, and their families, and thought about the journey that had brought her here. "The best education isn't about grades," she said. "It's about the ability to continue learning, growing, and contributing, no matter where you come from or where you're going." And in that moment, Lena knew that she had received the best education, one that would last her a lifetime.